All right, everybody, we are back with another team preview. This time we have one of my favorite owners in LOC, Susie and Fighting Geese. I mean, she is a thorn in my side. I mean, she is 6-2 against me, but she is one of my favorite owners, and I am glad that she is in her ninth season.
I'm super glad that she's in her ninth season too. It's a way for me to connect with my significant other, and it's a guy's dream, to be perfectly honest with you. And it's been a dream for Susie since she's been in the league. She's the best career-winning owner at 67-40. The next closest owner, just for the record, is myself at 63-44. So obviously, me and Suze have a track record of winning in our family.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And talking about winning, will Fighting Geese win the international division? I voted yes. I think she has one of the better teams in that division. There's maybe one other team that might have a chance, but I think the one thing we talked about in the questions was she has 14 picks in the first 10 rounds. I think her keepers are pretty good. She got Tony Pollard for a bag of hockey pucks or whatever you want to do for basically nothing. She has second overall, so that could be another a wide receiver there, or maybe Kenneth Walker. It looks like, and I know I haven't switched over yet, but just looking at her picks, I mean, she has lots of picks in the first 10 rounds, and then she only has 6 picks in the last 9. But we'll kind of keep it to the poll question for you, Commissioner. What was your answer?
My answer was definitely yes, and it's not a shot against the other owners there, but we talked about Ultimus Prime and his activity. I think he just needs to be more active to get better. Suhino and Sabatica Spartans are great owners. They moved up through the tier system, but again, they're not as active as most. And Too Good for a Name was pretty late coming to the party too. One of the things I am concerned with Susie, because I picked third, and we all know that I've been having my eye on Drake London this whole time. She might pick Drake London, and that would totally screw me over. But I wouldn't blame her if she did. She has Justin Jefferson. You pair Drake London with him, that would probably be pretty good. I think the offseason question here is, will Trevor Lawrence make the next step? Is it worth keeping him over Rashad Penny? And then the next thing is the 2 tight end keeper with Njoku and Pitts. Let's face it, Pitts, I think, is going to be, an elite tight end here this year. Tight ends always take a year, and Pitts was good in his first year. I think the other thing with Susie, though, that actually bears watching as well, is just the simple fact that she has those 14 picks in the first 10 rounds. We've talked a lot about Deuce Bombers, whose preview is going to be coming up here, but she has almost as many picks in those first 10 rounds as Deuce Bomber does. And I think, really, if she can nail these draft picks, we have to consider her a team that could be there in the finals.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my only issue taking Drake London is, one, you have Marcus Mariota and possibly throwing him the ball, or Desmond Ridder. I mean, Desmond Ritter's apparently been looking really good, which I think it would actually be good for that. But she also has Pitts. So the question is, does she want to have 2 Atlanta Falcons who might have Marcus Mariota throwing the ball to 2 of her players, or key players? Let's be honest. I mean, your Pitts was one last year, and then Drake London would be number 2 this year. So definitely something to think about. But as we always say, and I'm ending on this note, having 6 picks in the last 9 rounds is definitely where you want to go, how you wanted to do it. And I think she's going to have a great year. I think she's definitely a playoff team. I know she missed the last year, but I think she definitely makes it back to the playoffs this year.
I think so too. And I'm going to get her to watch this video because, I think you're right. Picking 2 Atlanta players would be a mistake. And let's face it, Seattle drafted Kenneth Walker 42nd overall. They did that for a reason. You got to get a running back at 2, I feel. And really, it's up to her. So we'll see what happens.